題啦 ，What's the main idea of paragraph 1？ 咁我哋睇一睇啦。佢話zoos 啦 ，aquariums and marine parks have been widely and rightly recognized by the public and by governments for their long-standing contributions to marine education and protection of ocean wildlife and habitats。 咁即係話咧，其實呢一篇就會係贊成嗰啲嘅贊成要養啲動物喺啲動物園裏邊噶嘛。咁佢就話啲動物園啊、水族館啊，同埋嗰啲嘅即係嗰啲嘅嗰啲咁嘅公園咧，都係一啲有咩作用咧？係佢哋咧，即係好即係被乜嘢公眾同埋政府咧都話即係讚揚佢哋係能夠可以教育啲人關於海洋生態啦。Protection of ocean wildlife 即係意思係能夠保護到嗰啲海洋嘅野生動物啦，同埋 habitat 即係佢哋嘅棲息地啦。咁呢度3樣嘢都係即係能夠可以做到嘅嘢。咁而 wildlife good zoos and aquariums host over 600 million visitors each year， 即係話咧啲係即係全世界喎。呢一句説話係講話咁啲動物園同埋嗰啲水族館咧就會乜嘢咧？就每一年咧都能夠可以有咁多嘅遊客啦。And in Hong Kong alone, close to 5 million people visit Ocean Park annually， 就有500萬人每一年都會去海洋公園。咁跟住佢呢個其實係講咗個背景嚟嘅啫，即係話其實一開始就講咗佢個 stance， 就話佢覺得係啲動物園係對啲即係其實係一個社會有貢獻咁嘅意思。咁而跟住有好多遊客，即係又好 popular。呢個其實最主要係講話呢啲動物園係好 popular。咁呢一個咧就係話佢哋嘅即係 keep 佢哋嘅作用啊，佢哋嘅 function 係做咗啲乜嘢。咁然後去到最尾咧，佢話 For these people, zoos and aquariums are a resource for wildlife education， 即係一個咩叫 resource 咧？就係一個好似一個資源啦，俾人哋去第一咧就係 wildlife education motivators for environmental stewardship 係解一個 management 咁嘅意思，管理 and a place for family recreation。咁呢個就係第3樣嘢，佢清楚講咗咧。即係啲動物園咧，其實係好有好處咁嘅意思。咁於是你會見到咧，其實咧真正咧喺呢一段裏邊咧，佢係真正講咗以下咧，佢將會講話動物園咧係其實係有啲乜嘢嘅作用。咁呢個其實有少少 function， 但係呢個下邊就清楚列咗有1、2、3。咁所以佢問你個 main idea of paragraph 1咧，就係最主要咧就係 centers of education。Conservation and entertainment， 咁邊一個字係代表 education 咧？當然就係第1點咯。第1點就係話動物園係一個 center of education， 就係一個即係佢可以用嚟教育啲細路啦。Conservation 即係保育啦，咁佢嘅意思就係 environmental stewardship， 就係意思解嗰個可以保護環境啊，即係意思佢哋可以 management 會去管理好嗰個環境。而 a place for family recreation 就係等於嗰個 entertainment， 就係話咧係一個 recreation， 係一個康樂設施，係一個娛樂嚟嘅。咁所以咧，你會見到啦。一般嚟講呢啲作者咧會喺佢哋嘅第1段啦。雖然有時咧喺嗰啲考試嘅文章裏邊咧，佢嘅第1段咧係會橫跨成4、5段，佢每一段拆到好細俾你。但係佢基本上喺佢第1段嘅結尾咧，就係講咗佢成篇文嘅 stance， 即係佢嗰個嘅主旨。佢成篇文咧，佢嘅 argument 就係話動物園咧係好好㗎，有呢3個好處。咁所以呢個答案咧就係應該係 D 啦。Centers of education, conservation and entertainment。咁我哋睇翻呢個第ABC 啦 ，ABC 呢一個1、2、3嗰個啦。Funded by governments 咧，呢一個係冇正式講過嘅，佢有講過話 highly recognized by the public and by governments， 即係話咧係覺得係受到政府同埋公眾所承認咁嘅意思啫。咁係咪 funded by 俾錢咧？其實係冇正式講過。well supported by the general public， 佢係有講過係 supported， 因為佢有話 rightly recognized， 但係問題係佢唔係主要想講話係受到公眾嘅歡迎，而係佢想講話對於呢啲人嚟講，佢哋有啲乜嘢嘅益處動物園。咁所以係的確講咗少少係有提及過，但係唔係佢個 main idea。Attracting increasing numbers of visitors each year， 其實都係啱嘅，因為佢有講過話好 popular 啦。咁又好 popular 就係話好多人去啊。咁呢個其實係想話俾你聽，佢有佢個 function， 亦都有佢個嗰個 popularity。但係其實佢話動物園真正有三大功能，而3大功能就喺呢一段結尾裏邊咧就講咗嘅。 好啦，第9行啦，佢問你啦 ，these people，咁我哋睇翻呢一個啦 ，for all these people，咁究竟呢啲 these people 係指乜嘢咧？我哋一定要睇翻咧，你會睇翻呢度之前嘅成句由呢度開始 ，worldwide。Good zoos, aquariums host over 600 million visitors each year。咁你會見到咧，佢個字話咧，啲土嘅動物園同埋啲水族館咧都有成600萬嘅遊客啦。And in Hong Kong alone, close to 5 million people visit Ocean Park annually。佢其實咧係主要咧係講真正咧係最主要講話全世界有咁多，而香港裏邊都佔咗有500萬咧，都係去海洋公園。For these people 咧係一定唔係淨係講香港嘅海洋公園，而係佢係講緊全世界嘅動物園嘅人數，所以咧係一定指翻係6 million visitors to zoos and aquariums 就係呢一批人啦。咁即係話換言之咧，嗰個 these 咧唔係指5 million， 因為佢話5 million 即係其中嘅500萬，而全世界有咁多人咧都會去動物園，咁所以 these people 咧就係你會寫翻係可以寫翻係6 million 或者唔寫6 million， 但係咧係嗰啲 visitors to zoos 或者係 aquariums worldwide。呢個咧可以寫可以唔寫，最主要咧就係講嗰個600萬嘅人，一定唔係嗰個500萬嘅香港，淨係香港嗰啲，因為佢話對於嗰啲人嚟講，動物園咧係一個 resource for wildlife education， 咁其實就唔係淨係對香港啦，咁即係對全世界任何人去動物園咧都會有以下3大嘅得益咁嘅意思。好啦，到呢一度啦，佢問你 which meaning of resource is closest to the meaning used in line 10。咁佢就講話對於呢啲人啦，動物園同埋啲水族館咧，都係呢啲野生教育嘅一啲嘅 resource。咁 resource 就算你識話或者唔識都好啦，你都唔應該就咁即係憑你本身識嘅意思，或者你就咁去睇嘅。有咩方法可以攞到真正啱嘅答案啦？其實一定要睇翻個文章，睇翻個文章個 context。context 係指嗰個文章裏邊嘅背景，呢個字究竟係點解？咁我哋睇翻啦 ，a country's source of wealth or revenue，revenue 即係收入啊。咁其實我哋唔係講緊收入，亦都唔係講緊銀紙，所以一定唔係 A 啦。咁 B 啦 ，a source of information or expertise。咁你會見到咧係一啲嘅資訊啦，同埋一啲嘅咩叫 expertise 咧，即係一啲專業嘅知識。唔識寫低佢啦，咁就例如佢仲俾埋例句你嘅 books are an important resource for study， 即係讀書嘅一啲嘅乜嘢咧 resource。接住啦 C 啦 an ability to meet and handle a situation， 我哋其實答案係 B， 因為其實佢意思係講話咧係 education wildlife education 嘅，即係 provide a lot of information 咁嘅意思，咁所以佢係指緊 information， 所以咧係的確係 B。而 C 咧係 an ability to meet and handle a situation， 佢嘅意思咧就係話 employers will find Mary's initiative and attractive resource。resource 佢意思指你睇翻個名詞係 ability， 但係佢而家唔係講緊呢個教育嘅 ability 啊嘛，佢話呢個教育提供咗好多嘅資訊，所以唔關 ability 事。另外 D 啦。A supply of materials that can be drawn on when needed， 係 supply of materials 係一啲材料啊 ，materials 係啲材料啊，唔識寫低啦。咁而呢個 materials 係材料嘅話，咁究竟係咪係一個係一啲材料咧？例如 low income families have fewer financial resources， 即係少啲嘅一啲嘅資源咁嘅意思。咁所以答案咧，佢係話提供咗好多嘅資訊俾好多啲人去辦呢啲嘅即係 wildlife education， 能夠提供好多資料俾佢哋，就唔係一啲材料啦。因為係多過一啲材料嘅意思，係代表一啲 information 嘅意思，所以答案係 B。From the information given in paragraph 2, name 3 ways that Ocean Park promotes wildlife education。究竟有邊3個方法咧係海洋公園係推廣到呢一個嘅野生教育咧？咁我哋睇翻第2段啦，佢話 At Ocean Park Academy, over 35,000 school children participate each year in our courses。咁佢即係話啲細路仔就會參與佢哋嘅課程啦。咁所以第一樣嘢咧就係 courses 啦。咁佢究竟佢問你點樣去 promote 呢個 wildlife education 啊嘛？第一樣嘢就係佢哋 they provide courses。OK， 咁好啦，接住咧就仲有啦 ，they include children with special financial needs and children from schools in remote areas。咁佢就係只係講咗呢啲 participants 嚟嘅啫嘛，啲人嚟嘅啫嘛，究竟係邊啲人會參加嗰啲 participants？咁所以咧你係唔會呢個唔係答案啦。咁另外啦 ，guests can also participate in， 其實你會全部咧佢見到個答案咧都係個 in 字後邊。In our animal encounter program， 你會見到咧佢有一個 animal encounter program， 即係好似啲海豚嗰啲嘅表演嗰啲啊，或者可以能夠好近接觸動物，就叫 encounter。encounter 即係有 meeting 嘅意思，即係能夠可以見到啲動物嘅 program。咁而呢個 program 當然都係一個嘅方法啦，令到佢哋啲人可以得到一啲 wildlife education，which gives them a chance to see some of Asia's rarest animals， 即係佢呢個再 further explanation 啫嘛，呢一個比較 further explain 究竟呢個 program 做乜嘢，咁所以唔需要理啦。Even our restaurants display information panels which advocate means 即係 promote 咁嘅意思。Wise seafood choices in support of sustainable means lasting， 即係可以維持好耐嘅 agricultural and fisheries practices。咁究竟佢第三個嘅點樣去 promote wildlife education 咧？就係佢哋會 display 即係展示一啲 information panel， 即係會展示一啲嘅資訊啦。咁所以你就會寫翻咧，就係 restaurants display information panels， 咁就已經係一個嘅方法啦。咁所以第一個啦，其實咧你會寫翻啦，你可以咧係寫埋呢一個字嘅，就係 Ocean Park Academy courses， 其實就係提供咗一啲嘅課程啦。第二樣嘢咧就係嗰個嘅 Animal Encounter Program。第三個咧就係 Restaurants Display Information Panels。係啦，咁就會呢三樣嘢咧就可以能夠 promote wildlife education 啦。好啦，接住咧就到wise seafood choices refers to eating fish that is。咁如果你會知道呢一個係有好多嘅即係好多嘅咩叫 wise 啦 ，wise 即係好明智啦，好明智嘅即係點樣明智咁樣去揀啲海鮮咧？其實就係我哋要揀啲魚咧係 sustainable 咯 ，sustainable fisheries。咩叫 sustainable 咧？即係有可持續咁嘅意思。咁而咩叫可持續咧？即係話咧啲魚咧係唔會因為你食咗一條而個海少咗一條嗰個意思咯。咁所以可以持續性嘅一啲嘅選擇咧，咁即係話咧，我哋食嗰啲魚咧 ，that is not endangered， 即係唔會係瀕臨絕種嘅意思啦，唔會食一啲好似譬如藍鰭吞拿啊嗰啲就係一啲瀕臨絕種嘅動物，即係食嘅魚類啦。咁佢哋就係指話我哋揀嘅食物係能夠 sustainable 嘅咁嘅意思。咁另外 clean and properly cooked 係當然冇可能啦，因為佢唔係教你即係點樣，佢既然係即係意思係講緊 wildlife education 要教育你啊嘛，咁所以就唔係講話要教育你要食得乾淨啲啦，或者 the special catch of the day。好多時咧食啲魚檔嗰度咧都會有一個話 the catch of the day 咩意思咧 ？catch 即係意思嗰日啱啱新鮮捉嗰條魚啊，就叫 the catch of the day。healthy and nutritious 根本就唔係講緊營養啦，係呢一篇文，咁所以當然咧就係唔會令到佢哋絕種嘅一啲魚啦。第6題啦 A 啦 ，the ocean environment is in decline due to overfishing。咁我哋睇翻呢個第一題啦，就講咗咧，就係話其實呢個係 not given 嘅，因為咧最主要咧第3、4段嗰度咧佢有講，我哋睇一睇 polls and studies。咩叫 polls 咧？睇一啲民意即係調查咁嘅意思，即係做啲民意測試咁樣咧嘅 poll。咁然後佢咧就係講話咧就係 polls and studies confirm that seeing living breathing animals in zoological facilities inspires children and adults to care about protecting marine mammals and their declining ocean environments。即係話咧啲調查所得就係話，當如果啲人咧係見到一啲living breathing animals， 即係啲生嗰個動物唔係死咗嗰啲啦，咁於是咧就會喺啲動物園裏邊咧就能夠可以啟發佢哋 去愛護嗰啲嘅，去愛護嗰啲或者咪保護佢哋嘅動物啦，同埋佢哋嘅海洋生態。OK， 咁但係咧，你話講過佢哋嘅 declining， 即係 means weakened， 即係越嚟越差嘅海洋環境啦。咁但係咧，你有講過佢哋嘅海洋環境唔好，但係有冇講過佢嘅海洋環境係因為 due to overfishing 咧？文章根本連呢個字都冇，所以冇可能係 true or false。咁唔可以推斷，憑你嘅知識只可以就係講係 not given 啦。好啦，接住咧就到到呢一度啦。A recent study by Dr. Lance Miller, a behavioral biologist with the San Diego Zoo, demonstrate an increase in conservation-related knowledge, attitude, and behavioral intentions. Immediately after guests viewed a dolphin show， 咁呢度咧就係講話咧，就係有一個人啦，就係話啲人咧睇完個 dolphin show 之後咧，就會有 increase in conservation-related knowledge， 即係話咧佢哋咧就會增加咗佢哋對於保育動物嘅意識咁嘅意思嘅知識啦、態度啦，同埋佢哋嘅意圖 intention， 即係佢哋嘅意圖，即係話佢哋咧係有呢個知識啦，有呢個態度同埋有呢個意圖咧，係想要增加，即係佢哋想保護嗰啲嘅動物。OK， 就係話佢哋當佢睇完一個 dolphin show 之後，就會想保護動物。而3個月之後啦 ，in the next round of interviews， 即係話咧再一次訪問啦 ，these guests reported that they were engaging in more conservation-related behaviour since their dolphin show experience。即係甚至咧係佢個意思係話佢個 research 咧係3個月之後咧。佢哋依然咧都會係 engaging in， 即係意思咧都係會參與係一啲即係比較即係會係一啲保護動物嘅一啲嘅行為咁嘅意思，即係唔係話當時即刻感覺上想要保護動物，3個月之後都依然有呢個咁嘅意識。They also retained what they had learned。retained 咧即係 kept 咁嘅意思，即係佢會 keep 住佢哋嘅即係喺去咗動物園之後見到嘅嘢。These findings echo， 咩叫 echo 咧 ？echo 即係回音。咁你試下山谷嗰度咧，啊一聲咧，咁如果有個 echo 即係回音會啊咧，嗰個音係一樣噶嘛，你啊佢啊咁嘅啫嘛。咁即係咩叫 echo 咧？即係 means 係同佢一樣 ，means the same as。其實好多文章都會話一啲嘢 echo the other， 有 echo 咧 means the same as 咁嘅意思，係同佢係對等嘅。咁而呢個咁樣嘅 research findings 啦。就係能夠可以乜嘢咧 ？Echo those of a study conducted at Ocean Park about our dolphin interactive program。咁即係話咧，雖然呢一個 Dr. Lance Miller 嘅喺外國動物園做嘅一個 research 啦，到喺香港嘅海洋公園咧，同一個類似嘅 research 咧，都有同一個嘅結果咁嘅意思。佢話 These findings echo those of a study conducted at Ocean Park。咁即係話咧，即係話外國同香港，即係總之咧，佢個即係作者嘅意思就係話，其實就睇完動物嗰個 show 之後咧，佢哋就會即係會有呢個人，呢個人就會有意識去想保護動物咁嘅意思咯。咁where 3 months after their participation, guests' positive attitudes towards the environment were still stronger than before the program。即係話其實成篇文都係想 argue 就係話 keep 啲動物落去動物園咧，就係對啲動物反而係好嘅，因為咧人類咧就會即係提高咗個意識，會去要保護佢哋嘅意思。咁所以佢呢個兩個 study 都係想即係講出一樣嘢，就係話啲人睇完個 dolphin show 之後咧，無論即時又好3個月之後都好咧，都會係想保護啲動物咁嘅意思咯。好啦，到 B 呢一題啦。People do not remember much of what they have learned after watching a dolphin show。當然係錯啦，因為佢有講過啲人話咩 3 months later， 有講過咩 3 months later， 嗰啲人咧係能夠佢有最重要呢個字 retain。They also retained what they had learned。咩叫 retain？ 我哋再睇一次，就係解能夠保留 keep 住記住咁嘅意思。Continue to have 啦 in memory。譬如 I have retained a vivid image of the accident， 即係話咧係記憶猶新，係會依然係好深刻記住嘅意思啦。 咁所以因為呢個字咧，你就知道咧，就係佢哋唔會係忘記咗啦。而 C 啦 ，Ocean Park's own research results were similar to those of Dr. Lance Miller， 係 similar 當然係 true 啦。因為點解咧？因為佢有講過話係 echo， 其實考你嗰個字咧就係 echo， 呢個考你嗰個字咧就係 retained， 咁所以咧就會如果你識呢兩個字嘅話咧，就會知道呢兩個嘅答案啦。七題啦，佢問你 Which of the following figures were more likely result of the poll taken in 2005？ 究竟係嗰個結果係乜嘢咧？我哋睇翻A poll taken in 2005 found that the public was nearly unanimous， 即係意思咩叫 unanimous 咧？我哋睇翻啦，係解意見一致、全體一致咁嘅意思啊，即係一致100%，大家全體都同意一樣嘢。但係呢個咧係寫明係 nearly， 即係只係差唔多係啫。咁所以咧就會係應該係95% 咯。如果 unanimous 咧就係解，如果呢一個咧就係一個一致 ，unanimous 係解一致，但係佢哋係只係 nearly。咁所以咧就係95% 啦。好啦，接住第8題啦。Do you agree with the statement that seeing animals in zoos could not be replicated by film or television？ 即係話咧去動物園睇動物咧係唔可以 replicate。我哋睇翻咩叫 replicate 啦，即係意思唔能夠可以複製咁嘅意思咯。可以唔可以模仿咁嘅意思？咁我哋睇翻就係話，究竟係咪去動物園度睇動物係唔可以喺戲裏邊代替嘅咧？即係嗰個你睇戲同睇真正嘅動物係咪一樣嘅咧？咁我哋睇翻呢一個啦，就係話A poll taken in 2005 found that the public was nearly unanimous in its acclaim for the educational impact of marine life parks, zoos and aquariums。咁呢一度咧咩叫 acclaim 咧？即係讚揚咁嘅意思啊！呢個字解，即係稱讚咁嘅意思。OK， 亦都可以作為一個名詞嘅 to win acclaim， 係解贏得讚賞啦。咁亦都係 acclaim 呢一個係即係為佢喝彩嘅意思，即係好讚揚。For the educational impact of marine life， 即係話咧係話因為有即係動物園係啲公眾係高度讚揚啲動物園嘅。咁 many respondents agreed that the experience of seeing animals in zoos could not be replicated by film and television。咁你睇到呢度咧，其實佢就點樣咧？係冇講過係究竟係咪可以，即係佢只係講咗話去動物園睇動物咧嘅經歷咧係唔可以話淨係憑睇電影啊或者睇電視啊有個紀錄片有個 documentary 就可以取替嘅。咁究竟佢問你 Do you agree？ 其實呢個咧唔需要再睇個文章噶啦。咁其實係要你即係憑你嘅 personal experience 嘅。咁你會可以答 yes 啦或者 no 嘅。咁你話係啊，的確係唔可以複製嘅。點解咧？就係話第一件事就係話 你可以掂佢哋啊嘛，係咪 ？You can get close to the animal。甚至聞到佢哋啲譬如好臭啊個籠啊嗰啲嘅感覺啊，或者係覺得佢哋係好得意啊個樣控到好埋啊，或者係 interact。其實比較好嘅學生咧都會能夠寫到咧佢哋係可以 interact with animals， 或者係 touch the animals。呢啲都係一啲啱嘅答案，就係話佢哋可以掂佢啦 ，interact 即係同佢哋互動啦嘅原因，所以咧。係唔可以，你話睇戲同睇戲嘅經歷係一樣嘅。咁如果你話係答 no 嘅話咧，都係可以㗎。咁你就係話係你話如唔係啊？你話睇動物可以喺戲度睇嘅啫。咁你就會寫翻話 watching animals on films or television allows you。allows 因為要係指一件事 ，allows you to see them up close。咁有時咧，譬如嗰啲 tigers and lions， 有時喺嗰啲 documentary 喺嗰啲紀錄片裏邊，你可以 zoom 到好埋嘅。咁嗰啲其實就唔係太可能嘅現實生活中。咁而呢一樣嘢咧，你就寫話係 something you may not be able to do so in a zoo， 就係動物園咧係冇可能做得到啦。好啦，到第9題啦。In Dr. Land's study, how many times were the dolphin show guests interviewed？ 咁究竟佢係訪問咗幾多次咧？咁佢有講過，頭先我哋都讀咗噶啦，之前2題嗰度。咁佢話個 study 就會係做乜嘢咧？係immediately after guests viewed a dolphin show 啦，得唔得？佢有一個訪問啦。到 3 months later 啦。In another round of interviews， 即係話咧呢個係第一次訪問啦，就係 immediately。咁然後第二次訪問咧就係3個月後，咁你就會發覺係有兩次嘅訪問啦。咁雖然後邊呢個有講咗話係啲人 Ocean Park 嘅 study 係一樣 ，these findings echo those of a study conducted at Ocean Park。咁你會見到呢一個咧都係同 Ocean Park 一樣，但係佢而家係講緊 Dr. Lance Miller 嘅 study， 所以只有2次，答案係應該係 B 嘅。係啦，咁佢只係第一次係即刻啦，咁另一次咧就3個月之後。接住啦 ，What does there in line 48 refer to？ 第10題嘅48題嗰個48行嗰個 there 係指乜嘢咧？我哋睇翻呢度啦。咁佢就話3 months 呢個啦，我哋由呢個開始睇。These findings echo those of a study conducted at Ocean Park about our dolphin interactive program where 3 months after their participation，there 咧嗱，你唔知道 there 係指乜嘢㗎？咁好多時好多學生咧 there 咧，佢哋嘗試揾翻之前啦，即係你想揾嗰個 there 啦，就喺之前文章嗰度嘗試之前嗰度揾，或者上邊嗰度揾嘅英文係即咁順住落啦。但係其實有時 there 嘅答案咧係喺後邊嚟嘅，個答案喺後邊嚟。咁我哋睇翻啊 ，guests。Positive attitudes towards the environment were still stronger than before the program. There 咧就係指翻嗰啲嘅海洋公園嘅賓客啦，就係 guests。OK， 咁我哋嗱好多時你記住啦 ，there 咧其實喺 DSE 考過好多次噶啦，嗰啲 pronoun 咧唔係一定係指翻之前或者係上邊嘅，係好多時係會指翻文章之後嘅。其實差唔多每一年啊、隔年啊，甚至2015年咧都再出過呢啲嘅 pronoun。呢啲 pronoun 咧係有時佢未必一定係用個 there 嘅，佢有時會問你另一個比較深嘅英文字，例如2015年，譬如好似 Canon 咁樣，呢個字根本就唔知點解，但係佢其實咧係可能係指翻之前啦、上邊啦，亦都可以係指翻段落嘅最尾嗰度嗰個字。明唔明白？咁所以咧，你一定要係嘗試係揾翻一個一模一樣嘅字，即係你嘅答案係唔應該自己作嘅呢一個，因為人哋當一個人講嗰啲 there 啊、which 啊、啲 pronoun 咩 such 啊呢啲咁嘅字咧，係一定係一啲代名詞啊，明唔明啊？係一啲 pronoun 係 pronoun 嘅一種，而一個 pronoun 咧，你係佢係代咗佢之前啦或者之後講嘅嘢，咁所以你就只係需要用翻嗰個作者提及過嗰個名詞就得㗎啦，就唔需要自己再作一大堆字。反而咧係人哋會扣你分，因為咧嗰個作者可能冇講過嗰啲字，而你又用錯咗，咁你就抄翻佢曾經提及過嘅名詞啦，或者嗰個嘅 phrase 咧，咁你照寫翻落去咧就會啱啦。好似呢一個咁樣啦 there 咧就係指 guesses 啦。第5段啦，就佢條問題問你 Why are children losing touch with nature？ 點解同大自然會失去接觸咧？咁我哋睇翻就係話 Most Hong Kong families live in urban settings, increasingly withdrawn into an electronic world of computer downloads, satellite media and video games。咁所以咧，結果咧就導致到咧 children are losing touch with nature 咯。咁所以最主要第一個原因就係乜嘢咧？就係because they live in urban settings。咁而第二個原因咧就係 they are increasingly withdrawn into an electronic world of computer downloads。咁就已經係答案啦。呢兩個咧就係下邊分別呢個1同2嘅答案，1同埋2。好啦，到 B 啦 ，explain how these reasons might cause children to lose touch with nature。咁我哋頭先講咗啦，啲人因為嗰啲家庭係住喺啲 urban setting， 即係咩意思咧？住市區啊。咁同埋咧，佢哋啲人咧就咩叫 withdrawn into an electronic world of computer downloads。 嗰啲 video game，即係意思打機打得太多咯。咁即係啲人究竟係佢哋會去做乜嘢咧？就住喺市區啦，亦都打機，即係佢哋唔會出街玩啦。咁所以佢哋就唔再接觸到大自然同埋嗰個動物世界。咁究竟explain how these reasons might cause children to lose touch with nature， 其實解釋點解佢哋係會即係因為咁樣而冇即係唔能夠接觸到啲動物咧。嗱呢一題咧亦都係自己要答嘅啫，只係即係一個 common sense 嚟嘅啫。因為後邊咧其實係冇正式講嘅，咁你應該係試下放手，唔好掛住喺文章度抄啦。因為佢後邊再講嘅嘢咧睇埋落去啊，但係其實係冇關係嘅。佢話 In a time of environmental challenges, zoos and aquariums are vital links to nature and wildlife。咁即係話動物園咧就同埋水族館都好重要啦。They connect real life people and real life animals， 即係令到真實嘅人生可以同啲真實嘅動物有所接觸。And foster 咧就係意思培養一個嘅 understanding that it is more important now than ever before to conserve 即係我哋要保護我哋嘅大自然啦。咁其實文章係冇再解過話究竟啲人住喺市區啦，同埋啲人掛住打機啦，咁究竟會點樣導致到佢哋 lose touch 嘅？咁其實你會幻想到就係話啲人住市區，咪即係點解唔可以同啲動物接觸啊？因為根本嗰啲市區就冇乜動物㗎嘛，係咪？咁所以咪冇乜機會咯。咁呢個係即係少咗個機會咯。而佢哋掛住打機咯，咁咪即係於是佢哋用晒時間去打機啦，咪即係冇晒咩啊時間咯。咁就因為佢哋冇晒時間啦，同埋亦都冇晒個機會啦，即係冇乜機會，同埋亦都唔會擺時間，所以咧佢哋就會導致到佢哋 lose touch with nature 啦。咁所以個答案可以係乜嘢咧？就係好啦，你會見到呢一度啦，佢就話 urban settings physically remove people from nature, so they have less chance， 即係冇乜機會啦。And people who play 應該係 who play a lot of computer or video games have less time。係啦，冇乜咁嘅時間啦 ，to get in touch with nature。咁所以就因為冇乜機會啦，同埋冇乜時間，咁呢個係自己應該可以 deduce 到出嚟，可以推斷到出嚟嘅。咁就係呢兩個原因咧，而導致到咧佢哋係冇乜機會接觸大自然啦。咁記住啦，喺 DSE 裏邊咧好多閱讀理解嘅題目咧，你 once 其實佢冇正式講個答案啦，其實就想你推斷出嚟，用翻你嘅 common sense。咁你幻想下究竟點解咯？啲人掛住打機，咁就唔會有時間再出去玩咯。去再佔足嗰啲動物咯，咁呢一個就係一個嘅原因啦。睇翻呢一度啦，呢題咧其實好多學生都錯噶啦。我哋睇翻呢條第6段先，咁佢就話咧Saving the planet's biodiversity is increasingly more challenging. It is through good zoos and aquariums that children, families and communities can meet nature's ambassadors。咩叫 ambassadors 咧？大使。咩叫大使？即係譬如話中國駐美國嘅大使，就係話中國 send 一個人過去，代表咗中國喺美國嗰度係一個嘅大使館裏邊嘅大使。咁呢一個咧，佢咩叫大自然的大使咧？咁其實你就會幻想啦，喺個動物園裏邊啦，咁有好多個籠嘅，咁好多個籠就會即係好多唔同嘅籠，而唔同嘅籠裏邊亦都有唔同嘅動物。咁嗰啲動物就係喺佢哋嗰個動物界裏邊嘅大使咯，即係可以話咧係喺嗰個動物園裏邊做佢嗰隻動物嘅大使。咁所以 nature's ambassadors 咧就係指嗰啲 wild 就係指嗰啲 animals in zoos and aquariums。就唔可以就咁寫動物啦，因為咧其實唔係普通嘅動物啦，唔係一啲野生嘅動物啦，係指係嗰啲動物園裏邊嘅嗰啲動物。咁呢一個亦都唔係喺文章裏邊呢度有講過係冇得 tip 嘅，但係其實佢嘅意思係可以接觸到啲大自然嘅大使，即係話佢哋好似係佢哋嗰個動物界，譬如馬騮界嘅大使就揾咗2隻就擺咗喺嗰個動物園個籠裏邊啦。咁於是佢哋就好似個大使，於是你就見佢哋咧，你就會知道其他佢啲同種類嘅動物係會係咩樣。咁呢啲咧就係叫做一個 nature's ambassadors 咯。接住咧就到第13題啦，就話喺呢個另一篇文章噶啦，去到 In February 2010 at the SeaWorld Amusement Park in Florida, USA, a well-bred a trainer pulled her underwater and thrashed about with her。咩意思呢？就係話有隻鯨魚啦，呢一個咧 grab 即係捉住一個佢訓練佢嘅人啦，而 pulled her underwater 即係將佢拉落水，而 thrash 咧係好暴力嘅意思係。咧係有一個意思咧係好暴力，就係 beat with stick or whip 啦，或者 hit hard， 係有一個係好大力係 move violently 嘅意思。咁所以咧就係將佢即係喺水底，跟住喺度扯佢，跟住之後咧最尾咧嗰個 trainer 咧係死咗嘅。咁所以嗰條問題咧就係話佢話點解佢呢一個 Why was SeaWorld in the news？ 就係因為咧係動物園裏邊有個 trainer 咧就係俾一隻海豚所殺死，呢、個就係所以佢係 on the news 啦，佢係 in the news 啦。咁所以個答案咧就係a trainer 就咁寫翻 a trainer was killed by a whale， 就係佢咧有個即係有個 trainer 被隻鯨魚所殺咗，或者講話係總之一定要係被殺啦，就唔可以 was attacked 就咁簡單，因為係死咗所以係上咗報紙嘅頭條。好啦，頭先我哋都有講過呢個 thrashed about 啦，咁我哋再睇多次啦。thrashed about 係 move violently 咁嘅意思，咁所以係好暴力嘅對待嚟嘅，咁所以就唔會係答案係應該係 D 啦，但好多學生咧會嘗試講話fight with 㗎。咁其實雖然我明白你唔會話查字典會知道呢個 thrashed about 嘅考試嗰陣時，但係你會見到咧鯨魚係好大隻㗎，但係人啊嘛，佢將佢 thrash about 而最尾佢死啊嘛。fight 咧就係兩個人係差唔多對等咁樣咧，你同佢打㗎啫嘛。但係你唔可以講話即係你同佢 fight，根本係冇得 fight，因為鯨魚係好大條，而跟住佢係拉咗落去佢個水底度，跟住將佢好大力咁喺度揈，咁所以就冇可能係 fight with 咯，唔可能話隻鯨魚 fight with 一個人咯，咁呢個 fight with 根本就 match 唔到落去呢一個位度，所以係冇可能用 fight 嘅。咁而呢兩個都唔可能啦，因為佢冇人同佢 play 會最尾死咗啦，只係 swim very quickly 毫無暴力嘅意思都可以死咗啦。咁而佢最尾係死咗嘅話咧，係一定係 move about violently， 所以只有答案咧係 D 係啱嘅。第15題啦 ，Find two phrases in paragraph 7 that mean the same as being kept a prisoner。究竟邊一個咧係指佢係好似一個監犯咁樣啦？就係乜嘢咧？佢話就係邊兩個字咧？就係confinement 啦，你可以寫埋 close 嘅，亦都另一個咧就係 held captive。captive 係解意思係乜嘢咧？俾人哋捉咗嘅意思啊！睇一睇 captive 咧，即係俾人哋俘虜咗嘅意思。而 confinement 咧就係解俾人哋監禁啊意思啦，即係將佢係困住。咁好啦，咁如果假如呢兩隻字你都唔識解嘅話，其實我哋睇翻其實點樣可以知道係呢兩個字係個答案咧？佢話 being kept a prisoner 啊嘛，即係俾人哋好似當係一個咁，你起碼都要識 prisoner 啦，即係意思係即係監等咁嘅意思。咁一定係下邊咧，上面只係講佢俾人殺咗。咁佢就講話 ，but the incident raised broader questions. Was the attack deliberate 即係故意啦。Did the whale nicknamed Tilly act out of stress at being held captive in a sterile concrete tank？ 咁即係話咧，佢呢度咧就係啦，呢一度因為 kept 啦係一個動詞啦，你係個名詞，咁所以 being kept a prisoner 咧係牽涉到呢一個係意思有個即係 kept 即係等於 held， 咁而 captive 即係俾人哋困咗係一個，就算你唔識呢兩個字，你都知道 tank。咁你都知道動物係一定佢 keep 喺動物園裏邊嘅，咁所以咧喺 tank 之前咧就係一個即係嗰個 kept a prisoner 嘅一個意思啦。而你後邊嗰度咧係亦都有個 enclose 即係好窄嘅一個 confinement 即係意思係一個好窄嘅地方，咁亦都係有一個 kept a prisoner 嘅意思啦。好啦 ，point point the finger at 咧，即係有個指責啦。你都諗到咧，如果有人鬧你咧，就會用手指指住你嘅意思啦。所以 point the finger at 咧係等於答案係 put the blame on someone， 即係 blame 係點解咧？係怪責，即係你怪責一個人。咁點解係你會見到啦 ？But if we are not pointing the finger at SeaWorld, we should also look more broadly at the way we confine performing animals， 即係話咧，唔應該淨係鬧 SeaWorld 一個嘅團體啦，係應該更加好闊啲咁樣去睇一睇，究竟我哋點解會困住一啲表演嘅動物 ？OK， 咁我哋嗰個 pointing the finger at 即係意思係指責，我哋就唔應該淨係掛住指責咧個 SeaWorld 嘅對動物嘅一啲嘅方式啊。咁呢一度啦 ，look at the issue closely， 即係去仔細研究，即係冇一個鬧嘅意思啊，所以錯啦。Address someone rudely，address 咧即係可以話係稱呼一個人，好冇禮貌咁稱呼，咁所以都唔係啦，因為冇一個譴責嘅意思。Query 點解咧？即係意思 to ask someone of something， 咁只係一個 ask questions， 都唔係有一個指責，所以 pointing the finger at 咧係有一個鬧啊，即係鬧佢，咁所以就 put the blame on 先至係唯一嘅答案啦。好啦 ，How are circuses worse places for animals than zoos and aquariums? Name two different ways。咁我哋睇翻呢一度啦，你考試嗰陣時，你會睇翻 circuses 就知道呢個係第12段啦，會揾到一個相似嘅答案啦。咁佢話 circuses are even worse places for animals， 即係佢話咧係一個好差嘅地方，俾啲動物住嘅地方。接住咧，人一般嚟講咧，呢一個係一個 point 啫嘛。咁好快脆咧，佢就會俾由呢度開始咧係一啲 evidence 啦，即係一啲證據就會點樣咧？就會係their living conditions are deplorable。咩叫 deplorable 咧 ？means poor， 即係 means 例如話 you've got deplorable results， 即係話非常之差嘅成績。deplorable 即係 means 好差嘅居住環境。呢一個咧就係第一個答案啦。咁咧 especially 嗰啲唔需要睇嘅。Training animals to perform tricks often involves starvation and cruelty， 就係話咧係你會講咧係會寫翻係 involves starvation and cruelty。starvation 咧即係要飢餓，即係要好肚餓啦。cruelty 即係好殘忍。咁所以咧你就會知道咧，佢條題目問你點解係一個 worse place 咧 places 咧就係點解仲差過動物園咧？就係因為佢哋第一就係佢哋嘅居住環境好差啦。第二就係佢哋咧嘅生活咧係包括你要令到佢哋好肚餓之後，當佢表演咗之後咧，佢就俾嘢佢食，就係一個所以好殘酷嘅兩個嘅手法啦。咁所以第一題嘅答案就係worst places 就係因為 their living conditions are deplorable， 其實係照抄嘅。咁同埋第二咧就 involve starvation and cruelty 就係第二個答案啦。第18題啦 ，What do paragraphs 10 to 14 tell us about the writer's attitudes and opinions？ 咁究竟咧睇下第一個啦，就 He feels strongly about animals being kept in captivity。咩叫做 feel strongly 咧？即係佢意思係佢即係 disapprove 咁嘅意思啊，即係唔認同。OK，feel strongly 即係不認同，即係埋佢有好大嘅意見咁嘅意思咯。咁所以你會見到其實咧，你要明白呢一篇文咧就係。其實佢一開始已經有講㗎啦，就係話其實呢個成篇文就 an ocean apart 啦。咁但係呢度有一個咧就係一啲叫 byline 嘅嘢，即係意思咧係裏邊有呢篇文最主要講嘅嘢，因為你就係憑個題目，你根本就唔知佢講乜嘢嘅。咩叫 an ocean apart？ 即係成個海洋分開咁嘅意思啦。咁另外佢呢一句咧先至係反而係清楚講到呢篇文章嘅最主要想講嘅嘢係乜嘢，就係 Does keeping large animals in aquariums and zoos foster social benefits like education and conservation？ 即係話究竟養啲動物喺動物園裏邊係唔係 foster 即係培養到佢哋嗰個嘅即係能夠可以促進佢哋可以例如有 education 同埋保育方面嘅意識啦。or 你會見到有個 or 啦 ，is it unethical 即係不道德咁嘅意思。即係其實佢問究竟係好啊，抑或係唔好啦？ sending the wrong message to young minds， 即係話係咪其實係教壞細路，抑或係對細路好咧？咁呢度咧其實佢係講咗呢篇文咧係有兩個唔同嘅意思，佢就 read what two people have to say about both sides of the issue。如果係我咧讀呢篇文咧，一定會將呢一個部分咧係好仔細咁睇，然後原來佢嘅意思就係話呢一篇文咧前邊嗰個人咧就覺得動物園係好㗎，有好多益處㗎，例如話可以係 education 啦。motivator for environmental stewardship 啦，甚至係一個家庭娛樂嘅一個場所。咁而後邊嗰篇咧，嗰個 Peter Singer 咧就係講乜嘢啊？就係佢係唔贊成啦。一開始就舉個例子就係話啲動物會殺人啦，跟住之後佢哋好 stressed 啦。咁其實呢篇文咧就係講話唔贊成嘅，呢個係 disapprove 嘅，即係 disapprove keeping animals in zoos and aquariums。而呢一篇咧就係 approves 嘅，就係覺得係好嘅。咁引申到咧，你會見到個題目咧就叫 an ocean apart。呢個 ocean 咧唔係指緊真係海嘅 ，means 即係喺一個好大嘅 apart 分歧，即係話咧有人係極度贊成要養動物，因為佢個題目就係講話 what two people have to say about both sides of the issue， 即係話咧係極度相距嘅一個即係好唔同嘅一個 opinion 咁嘅意思，所以 an ocean apart 真係同嗰個真正嘅海洋係冇關係嘅，咁佢真係只係講話咧兩個好極端嘅意見嘅意思啫。咁我哋去翻頭先我哋嗰度啦。咁睇翻咧呢個第10至14題啦，10至14段啦，嗰度就講究竟個作者嘅觀點係點樣。當然佢係唔認同啦，因為呢個10至14段就係嗰個 second writer 啊嘛。咁嗰個 second writer 係唔認同嘅。第一版咧，嗰個作者係不斷咁樣認為係即係 keep 啲動物係好嘅，又可以教育細路啊，又話幾多人都贊成啊。咁所以第一個係啱啦，係feel strongly 啦。He is a defender of places like SeaWorld。咩叫 defender 咧？我哋睇翻 defender 係有個乜嘢咧？即係佢捍衛呢啲嘅動物園嘅一啲人，捍衛者，即係佢會好支持一個嘅信念。咁你會見到啦，佢係咪 defender of places like SeaWorld 咧？當然唔係啦，佢唔係贊成養啲動物喺動物園嘅，佢覺得係非常之殘酷，係唔應該。3啦 ，he is critical 咧係解批評咁嘅意思，批評啲 amusement parks and circuses 當然係啦，即係其實咧，如果你能夠可以睇成篇文章一開始嗰個題目兼且嗰個 byline 嗰一段咧，嗰一段嘅話咧，佢基本上就會知道可以答到呢啲題目係唔需要睇裏邊啲內容，佢根本就係講一個第一版係贊成，第二版唔贊成，咁 critical 就批評，咁當然係批評啦。第10至14段嗰個作者。另外he is concerned about how we educate the future generation。咁呢一個我哋再睇一睇啦。咁當然佢有講過嘅，佢有講過話呢度啦 ，attempt to defend amusement parks and circuses on the grounds。on the grounds 係解基於。on the grounds that they educate， 即係佢呢度見唔見到呢個 educate， 即係 he 呢個係表達佢 he doesn't agree， 即係佢唔覺得係會 educate， 即係所謂去教育咁，即係佢 doesn't agree with 呢一個 educate 嘅 verb。They educate people about animals should not be taken seriously， 即係話咧嘗試捍衛動物園，話動物園可以係教育人呢一樣嘢咧係唔應該即係好慎重咁對待，即係覺得係唔認同。Such enterprises 即係嗰啲嘅企業啦，part of the entertainment industry， 即係佢話呢啲咁嘅企業主係即係啲娛樂嘅機構。The most important lesson they teach impressionable young minds is that it is acceptable to keep animals in captivity for human amusement。即係話咧，佢哋覺得咧，即係呢個作者認為啦，即係佢哋呢啲個 lesson 只係會教呢啲年輕嘅細路嘅一樣嘢，係唯一教乜嘢咧？就係話 keep 啲動物喺個動物園度啦，就係有娛樂性嘅。即係佢認為係唔認同啦。That is the opposite of ethical attitude that we should be seeking to teach children。咁即係話咧，係同咩叫 ethical 咧？即係道德。即係話咧，佢覺得係咁樣教細路咧，呢樣嘢係即係有違道德咁嘅意思啊！ 就話係我哋唔應該咁樣教啲細路話，即係 keep 啲動物去玩咧係一件好事。咁所以佢係其實係極度唔贊成嘅。咁所以你會見到呢一度咧就係話 ，he is concerned about how we educate the future generation 咧係啱嘅。佢的確係有講過話，究竟係點樣教育細路先至啱咧？係有好大嘅意見。你會見到佢用咗成段去講嘅。咁所以答案咧就係1、3、4啦，但係我哋都睇埋第5啦。He expects the government to solve the world's problems， 即係佢話佢希望政府會解決呢個問題，仲要係 problems 喎，即係 more than 嗰個keeping animals in zoos and aquarium 嘅 problem。咁所以係錯啦，因為有講過咧就係話 there is no excuse for keeping wild animals in amusement parks or circuses， 即係佢話係冇藉口嘅，其實唔應該。Until our government take action, we should avoid supporting places where captive wild animals perform for our entertainment。咁呢個作者係重新再表達咗我哋係唔應該支持啲地方係 keep 啲動物去，只係為人類嘅娛樂咁嘅意思咯。咁呢一個咧，其實只係一個 decorative 嘅句子，即係一個裝飾性嘅句子，即係話除非政府去 take action 啦，直到我哋政府去 take action， 如果唔係我哋都唔應該係咁做。咁即係其實佢嘅意思即係總之就係話唔應該咁做咯。咁亦都佢冇講過話政府會 take action， 或者又真係有任何嘅 action， 亦都冇話期望政府會 take action。所以呢個係唔啱嘅。OK， 佢話即係其實最主要係後邊嗰句，佢嗰個 main point 係話我哋要避免去呢啲咁嘅地方。所以係 until our government take action， 即係話除非即係直到我哋政府 take action 之前咧 ban 曬呢啲咁樣嘅動物園唔應該存在。咁跟住之後咧，喺呢個件事發生嘅之前，我哋都應該要避免去呢啲地方，咁樣講啫。咁所以答案咧就1、3、4。好啦，到 what does such enterprises 係指乜嘢咧？咁頭先我都講過啦，enterprises 就係指嗰個嘅一啲嘅企業啦。我哋睇翻啦。呢個 enterprises 就係呢一度啦，佢話 attempts to defend amusement parks and circuses on the grounds that they educate people about animals should not be taken seriously。咁呢個 such enterprises 咧就係當然就係指嗰啲嘅企業就係啱啱指完嘅amusement parks and circuses 啦。咁你要點知咧？我都頭先講過啦 ，such 啦，呢啲咁樣嘅係一啲 pronoun， 即係一啲嘅代名詞，即係呢啲嘅唔係呢個唔係代名詞，但係 such 即係呢啲咁樣嘅企業。咁呢個 such 咧係一定係之前提及過嘅一啲企業啊，即係你要講咗係啲 A 企業、B 企業，然後話呢啲咁嘅企業都唔應該嘅。咁你話呢啲咁樣嘅企業，你一定係喺文章嘅之前去揾翻兩個名詞。咁當然就係指翻amusement parks 同埋 circuses 咯。An ocean apart 咧就係其實咧係唔知佢講乜嘢啦，但係咧你睇呢個 byline， 其實記住咧，其實有幾年嘅 DSE 咧，佢哋嘅 title 咧都唔知噏乜嘢㗎，你就係睇個 title 真係一頭霧水嘅。但係你睇佢 byline， 即係有個長啲嗰一段咧，又未到主題嗰段咧，其實係極重要嘅一段，因為呢一段咧會話俾你聽，其實成篇文章嘅主旨係乜嘢。咁你 base on 你有呢個主旨嘅話，你先至能夠可以即係真正知佢個 argument， 就唔會俾一啲distractor 所影響你去攞個正確嘅答案。咁我哋一齊睇睇，再睇一次個 byline 就話佢問嘅究竟 does keeping large animals in aquariums and zoos foster social benefits like education and conservation？ 即係究竟係咪一件好事咧？一開始即係能夠係一件可以能夠即係教育人哋保育嘅，提高人哋保育嘅意識啊。or 呢個 or is it unethical？Sending the wrong message to young minds。咁呢一個咧就係支持嘅，橙色嗰個咧就係支持嘅，係 support 嘅 reasons， 啲 supporters 嘅 reasons。而啡色嗰個咧就係嗰啲嘅就係嗰啲唔贊成嘅 reasons，other reasons 即係嗰啲係嗰啲opponents 嘅 reasons。咁而唔贊成嘅原因咧，就係話係咪即係好唔道德咁嘅意思？即係養啲動物喺個動物園好唔道德。咁於是去到佢最主要嘅主旨就係一定係一段嘅最尾嗰句就係 read what two people have to say about both sides of the issue。你會見到就係叫你睇下以下兩個人點睇啦。其實個作者係冇特別即係取向係邊一個，佢只係 lay out 咗兩個好重要嘅人，一啲即係比較高級嘅人講咗嘅一啲嘅意見嘅啫。咁所以成篇文就係講咗兩個人嘅對呢件事嘅睇法。咁而 an ocean apart 咧就係指個 ocean 咧唔係關個海洋嘅，即係意思係好大 ，apart 就係分歧。就係話佢哋兩個人嘅 opinions 咧係好大，好似個海隔開咁大咁嘅意思。咁所以我哋睇翻個答案咧就係、ocean apart 就係 the two writers have very different opinions， 所以佢哋有好唔同嘅意見啦。好啦，接住咧我哋睇一睇呢一度啦。咁佢就話 after the death of Don Bronch。questions are being asked whether anything could have been done to prevent such a tragedy 咯，當然係一個悲劇啦。It has now emerged that Tilly was still being allowed to perform despite being responsible for the deaths of 幾多個 people 啦 in previous attack two other people。咁我哋睇翻啦，呢一個係一個就即係嗰個人死就去令人質問究竟係咪可以避免呢啲咁嘅悲劇咧？我哋睇翻究竟呢一度啦，佢話 pull her， 佢呢度啦就係話呢個係一個悲劇，佢有講過呢個係悲劇啦。咁就另外咧 ，Tilly had been involved in two previous human deaths， 即係話咧，其實佢已經殺過兩個人㗎啦。In one episode, a trainer fell into the pool and Tilly and two other whales drowned him， 即係已經咧係會即係將佢浸死。In another, a man who appears to have entered the aquarium at night when SeaWorld was closed was found dead in the pool with Tilly。咁其實咧，佢已經係即係同兩個即係殺過兩個人。其實佢係係啦 ，two other people 啊，即係話除咗呢一個 trainer 之外，仲有多兩單 ，total 已經殺咗3個人喺文章度。咁但係佢依然咧都俾佢繼續去表演。Unlike most performing show animals, Tilly was not born in 邊度咧？呢一個係 born in captivity， 即係話咧唔係喺被困嘅一個地方度長大，即係一生出嚟嗰陣時佢唔係一個籠度嘅。佢有講過咧係呢度咧佢有講過咧就係話佢有講過 this was premeditated， 即係話咧係蓄意咁嘅意思。我哋睇翻 premeditated 點解？係有預謀咁嘅意思嘅，呢個字係解。咁佢即係話咧，其實有預謀。We will never know exactly what was going on in Tilly's mind， 即係話咧係唔知道究竟嗰隻動物其實腦裏邊諗緊乜啦。But we do know that he has been in captivity since he was about 2 years old， 即係話咧係2歲，即係一生出嚟嗰陣時係喺大海裏邊，但2歲之後就俾人哋困住喺度啦。Orcas are social mammals and he would have been living with his mother and other relatives in a group。即係其實佢哋係一個社交動物啦，就而佢哋咧係應該同啲即係同阿媽或者同其他親戚係一齊住。The sudden separation was probably traumatic for Tilly。traumatic 咧係解具創傷性咁嘅意思，即係話咧係對佢嗰個心理係有好大影響。咁所以咧，你會見到咧，就會係呢一度咧，就所以佢係話 was not in captivity， 即係話咧佢係佢唔係一出世已經喺個籠度，出世喺個大海度，但係俾人捉咗去韞咗2歲之後就韞咗個籠度，其實佢哋係唔慣。He was captured off the coast of Iceland in 1983 and housed in a concrete 乜嘢咧？我哋睇翻啦，咁佢咧就係話佢係佢話咧佢話。Did the whale nickname Tilly act out of stress 係咪因為太大壓力咧？at being held captive in a sterile concrete tank， 即係意思係一個石屎籠裏邊。咁佢係喺個籠裏邊困住啦，咁所以 concrete 就用翻呢一個嘅 tank。咁係同呢個 tank 係同一個答案啦。喺呢一度就咁喺抄翻個 concrete 後邊就有個 tank 啦。 Reports speculate 即係估啊，即係 guess 咁嘅意思。That Tilly was isolated from other whales， 即係話咧係同其他嘅鯨魚咧係隔離咗嘅。And that the 乜嘢 from his family might have contributed to his aggressive behaviour。the 乜嘢嗰個嘅佢話 the sudden separation 啊，即係突然間要同嗰啲家人分開 was probably traumatic for Tilly， 即係對佢好，即係突然間要同佢啲家人咧離開，俾人捉咗咧，係對佢好具創傷性，所以佢好大壓力，所以要殺人咁嘅意思。咁所以咧 the separation， 留意下 separation 呢個字咧係中間係 ARA 嘅，就唔會係 ERA 嘅。咁佢可以就嘛，所以呢個咧係一個 summary 就話咧個 separation from his family might have contributed to his aggressive behaviour， 就係話佢同佢家人分離咧係 contribute to 咧係解乜嘢啦 ？contribute to 咧就係解咧係導致到佢咁樣嘅意思。OK， 促成啦，導致到佢會有呢一個嘅殺人嘅傾向，咁所以 contribute to his aggressive behaviour。Orcas in the wild normally live and hunt in packs. Packs means groups， 即係話咧佢哋係一組一組咁樣嘅，一組一組咁樣嘅，佢哋係 in a group 嘅，一齊係一組，係一個社交動物。乜嘢 hundreds of miles in the ocean？ 咁我哋睇翻啦呢一個。呢度睇翻啦，第10段佢話 moreover the degree of confinement 即係意思係嗰個被困嘅情況啦 is extreme for no tank no matter how large can come close to meeting the needs of animals who spend their lives in social groups swimming long distances in the ocean， 即係話咧其實係話無論嗰個籠係幾大，即係嗰個嘅魚缸係幾大，都唔可能係代可以係好似個海咁樣啦。咁而佢哋咧就 describe keeping a 6-ton whale in SeaWorld's tanks as akin to， 即係 is similar to 咁嘅意思，即係好似 keeping a human in a bathtub for his entire life， 即係要一個人咧喺個浴缸度成世嘅感覺係一樣。咁呢一個比喻好清晰啦，咁所以話咧佢哋係 hunt in packs， 佢仲有咧係嗱，你會留意到呢度有個 comma 嘅 comma 之後咧係要用一個 present participle swimming hundreds of miles， 呢一個需要用一個 present participle。Some experts believe that Tilly did not kill for food, but may have been acting out of stress， 即係話咧係因為太大壓力啦 and boredom。咁因為佢哋其實正常係游好多公里好多好遠嘅地方啦，咁佢哋係 act out of stress， 呢度見到有個 stress 喺度啦。And boredom. Richard Ellis agrees that while the whale was not trying to eat the trainer, his actions were 乜嘢咧 premeditated， 即係意思係有預謀嘅，或者係 deliberate。咁我一陣間同你揾埋 deliberate 呢個字。咁頭先我都講過 premeditated 咧係解有預謀嘅意思啦，即係 planned 係一個 planned action。咁我哋見翻呢一個啦，佢有講過啦，佢哋嘅 action 咧係 this was premeditated， 即係有預謀，係佢哋係刻意咁做嘅。同埋咧 deliberate 咧係係呢一度，佢有講過咧係 was the attack deliberate， 係咪一個蓄意嘅攻擊咧？抑或係只係一個偶然一個 accident 咧？唔係咯，咁佢就講話咧，佢哋要殺人呢一樣嘢係蓄意啦，或者係有預謀嘅。接住咧，我哋睇下第22題啦。22題嗰條問題係問你乜嘢咧？就係話究竟係咪 keep 動物係即係屋企嘅動物同埋即係動物園嘅動物係咪一樣啊？咁其實一定係 not the same 嘅。點解咧？其實咧呢一個咧都係你哋自己嘅即係 personal response， 係要 use your common sense。唔該係要諗下，其實動物園嘅動物係同埋係屋企用嘅動物有咩唔同咧？咁其實咧 pets are much smaller than most animals。咁其實呢一個咧係冇正式文章裏邊講過，但係你諗下屋企冇可能養鯨魚噶嘛，係咪？你屋企係主要養貓啊、狗啊嗰啲 嗰類嘅動物啊 rabbits 啊嗰啲咁樣嘅啫嘛，咁所以一定係細啲啦，呢個係一個分啦。第二個點咧就係and most animals in zoos are 同埋咧第二係 not confined in small cages， 就係話你文章裏邊就講過話佢哋係通常嗰個 cage 都係無論係幾即係好細嘅，因為嗰啲動物好大，所以於是無論嗰個動物園嘅環境係幾咁大嘅話，都係會冇可能係同喺大自然比較，咁係 confined 即係被困咁嘅意思啦。佢哋係被困喺一啲好細嘅籠裏邊啦。咁仲有咧就係呢一個就可以喺文章裏邊抄到嘅，就係動物園係 commercial enterprises，而 keeping a pet 咧就唔係嘅。咁即係動物園咧係為咗錢咯，佢哋係即係 they are commercial enterprises，they need to make a profit， 或者 they earn money by keeping animals in a place。咁呢一個咧就係文章裏邊講動物園啊，講 circuses 嗰陣時咧係有提及過呢啲字。咁所以答呢種題目嗰陣時咧，記住咧就係基本上盡量啦，就喺文章裏邊抄翻一啲可以用嘅字，然後做翻個文章出嚟，做翻個段。例如好似 commercial enterprises 啦、confinement 啦嗰啲咁嘅字，但係一定要加好多你自己嘅 common sense， 就唔好 expect 你係可以抄到一大段出嚟咯。咁其實要加埋 common sense， 你諗下屋企嘅狗同貓同埋喺動物園嘅佢提及過嘅鯨魚有咩分別咧？咁當然係 size 啦，同埋嗰個即係嗰個被困嘅程度，因為屋企嘅動物你通常都係有時會帶佢出街噶嘛，咁可以由得佢走噶嘛，咁所以就好明顯係唔同啦。咁到23題啦，23題咧好多人咧就答唔到嘅，因為咧佢講嗰條問題係講乜嘢咧？就係講話嗰個究竟係有 opposing views， 即係不同的意見啦。咁就discuss which view you find most convincing。究竟係你覺得邊一個係 convincing， 即係具說服力咁嘅意思。咁究竟你覺得邊一個係具說服力咧？咁你一定要試下寫翻咧，就係究竟係 Peter Singer 嗰個啊，抑或係嗰 Susanna 啦Gendron 嗰個咧？咁你就要用翻你即係睇翻落呢一度。咁其實都係抄翻文章嘅一啲嘅字，跟住你就講嘅啫。咁例如你話，如果假如你話贊成 Susanna 嗰個 Susan 嗰個咧，或者 first text 啦 argument 啦，或者 first writer 嗰個咧，你就用翻佢第一段嗰個結尾咧，佢咪講咗動物園有3個好處嘅，咁educational 啊 conservation 啊同埋 connect people with animals 啊，咁呢一個係任何2個就已經足夠啦，明唔明白啊？即係話換言之咧，就係佢係只需要喺嗰個嘅第一段裏邊咧係講咗佢嘅好處，第一段咪講咗佢有幾個好處嘅，就係可以係a resource for wildlife education 啦 ，motivators for environmental stewardship 啦，同埋 a place for family recreation， 呢幾樣嘢都係佢嘅一個好處。咁所以你用翻呢3個加翻少少字就已經攞滿分，就好似呢度咁啦。例如話你 education 就係 help us to learn about animals 啦。conservation 就會 foster understanding that it is important to conserve our natural environments 啦。而最尾一點就係可以 connect people with animals so that they can get in touch with them。咁你就已經其中2個已經攞到呢邊嘅分。咁如果咧呢度啦，如果你講話 Peter Singer 咧，咁你又得喎，都係可以咧，就係話點解你唔即係你贊成，你認為佢嘅講嘅論點係啱咧？就係 animals are forced to live in small spaces， 呢一個係佢嘅論點啦。animals are forced to perform tricks， 佢有講過啦，亦都有講過話they are commercial only interest in making profit， 即係想賺錢啦。亦都有講過 unethical， 題目一開始就講啦，喺個 byline 度係不道德嘅。我再講一次呢個解，咁好唔道德嘅，咁所以咧你就會覺得係唔應該啦。咁任何2個 point 就得㗎啦。基本上就係只係需要喺個文章裏邊咧，好似 Peter Singer 嗰度就有講過話佢嗰啲係係好唔道德嘅一啲嘢，即係佢有講過係話係佢哋只係 businesses are just trying to make profits，and then 你有講過話 they are teaching children the wrong concepts。佢有講過係話is not ethical。OK， 佢亦都有講過咧係 is cruel， 即係好殘忍。又即係佢講過好多個 point 就係話或者 we shouldn't confine performing animals in small cages。咁你將佢講過嘅嘢抽出嚟講翻2個 point， 一個唔同嘅2個 point 喎，咁你就會攞到分啦。